Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so that was my first time seeing Errol Spence train, looking in shape, looking like he's about to start a training camp for his comeback. Now, you guys might recall, originally, Errol Spence, he was supposed to make his comeback against Sebastian Fundora a long time ago. When that fight fell apart, it looked like Errol Spence, he just slowly started to wither away. He just disappeared. And now all of a sudden, like I said, a video of him training surfaces. You know, I was really looking forward to that Spence versus Fundora fight. That would have been a really, really good matchup. But now with Errol Spence coming back and he's going to be fighting at 154, man, 154 might be the deepest division right now. But if Errol Spence is the same fighter that he was before he lost to Terrence Crawford, then he could compete with anybody at 154. It really comes down to how much Errol Spence has mentally. He suffered a big loss, and this is the reason why you have some fighters today that are afraid to take high risk with high rewards. Some of them are not daring to be great because they know what comes with a big loss. And it doesn't even have to be a loss by knockout. I mean, look at Jermell Charlo. He lost to Canelo Alvarez, jumped up 2 weight classes, lost to Canelo Alvarez, and we haven't seen him since. He's been out of the ring just as long as Errol Spence has been out of the ring. So losses hit different. They affect every fighter differently as well. You know, some fighters have come back from a big defeat and gotten even better. So it'll be really interesting to see how Errol Spence looks when he returns, especially at a higher weight class. You know what's real crazy is it wasn't even that long ago that we were expecting Errol Spence to get the Canelo Alvarez fight. There was a time when no one was even talking about Terrence Crawford fighting Canelo.
Did you ever think of, did Canelo ever pop in your mind as a fight down the road? Because he's sold tons of seats in Cowboy Stadium. You're from Texas. I mean, it's only about 13 pounds between you guys. But is that something you ever thought about, you and Canelo?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I mean, to me, he's not really a 160 pounder. He's a 154 pounder. I mean, if you look at him, like, he's a short guy. He's wide, but he's short.
Do you feel like if you fought him, because usually you go cut the ring off and go after guys, will he get on, hit the back foot a lot like he did against Triple G, or because you'd be moving up, he'd be more willing to go toe-to-toe?
I think he'd be more willing to go toe-to-toe. I mean, with Triple G, that's a whole different game plan. Triple G, he moves up Triple G weight class. Triple G, a guy who can, punch real hard, and Triple G on the game plan is to, come forward. So with that, it'd just be a different game plan with me and him.
What about your style as you move up maybe to 154 and if we're talking Canelo 160, are you going to still just be hunting guys down or a little different?
It just depends on who the person is. I mean, change little things up, but probably the same routine.
In fact, maybe a year before we even got the Spence versus Crawford fight, Canelo Alvarez, he had 2 deals on the table. And this is why he was kind of forced to fight Bivol. He had a deal where DAZN wanted him to fight Bivol and Golovkin, and PBC, they wanted him to fight David Benavidez, Errol Spence, and Jermell Charlo. Canelo Alvarez, he decided to go with the DAZN deal. He already had a reputation of fighting Eastern European fighters, so Canelo, he felt if he was going to be forced to take one of these deals, he'd have a better chance with the Eastern European fighters. But see, the European fighters that Canelo was beating before, they were C-level European fighters. He messed around and fought an A-level Eastern European fighter, and we seen what happened. Bivol beat him decisively. And to add insult to injury, Bivol wanted the rematch to be at 168. And Canelo Alvarez, he still turned down the fight. So when Canelo fought Bivol, he didn't choose that fight because he was daring to be great. He chose that fight because those were the only options he had, either the DAZN deal or the PBC deal. At this point, PBC and DAZN, they basically told Canelo Alvarez, if you want the big bucks, you have to take a challenge. We can't give you the type of money that you want for these easy cherry picks that you keep taking. Because if you guys remember, at this time, Canelo Alvarez, he wanted to fight the South African guy. I forgot his name now, but he wanted that fight. And DAZN and PBC, they were not willing to pay for that fight because this guy was a complete unknown. So going back to Errol Spence, you know what's real crazy about Errol Spence possibly fighting Canelo at that time? Errol Spence had a much better chance of beating Canelo Alvarez than he had of beating a Terrence Crawford. In fact, I had said that even back then when they were talking about this fight. So actually, Canelo Alvarez deciding to take the DAZN deal instead of the PBC deal, it really changed the course of history. Because once again, if Errol Spence would have got the Canelo Alvarez fight, we probably never would have got the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. Because remember, Errol Spence's plan was to fight Canelo Alvarez before he was going to fight a Terrence Crawford. And we most likely wouldn't have even got the Canelo versus Crawford fight, because if Canelo would have took that PBC deal, he most likely would have lost to one of those PBC fighters. Once again, we're talking about David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, and Errol Spence. Canelo wasn't beating those guys, at least not all three of them. So now that we do have the Canelo versus Crawford fight next weekend, Errol Spence, he's already spoke on this fight. And he's basically saying the same thing that I'm saying right now, which is, I'm not sure who's going to win this fight, but I'm rooting for my country. I'm rooting for Terrence Crawford, just like Mexico will be rooting for their country. But Errol Spence, he just said that he's rooting for Terrence Crawford.
I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great, you know. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So, you know, I'll be going for Bud, you know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I'll definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. Yeah. He's chasing greatness, so why not?
With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
You told Bud you don't wait in lines. You know, you mentioned that you might want to fight Fundora. Are you staying to that? You still want to come back and fight Fundora?
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe fight Fundora, and then I guess Crawford mandatory, so we do a part two.
Hey, how have you covered? Like, man, we you know, so many of your fans, man, you be so low key. You know, when you not fighting, man, your fans be wondering how you doing and stuff like that. Yeah. What have you been doing, brother?
Man, I've been traveling. I've been traveling a lot.
Signing pretty contracts.
Yeah, public contracts. You know, but I've been traveling a lot. You know, spending time with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Being a full-time dad and just enjoying life outside of boxing. You know, a lot of people think you don't got life outside of boxing. Yeah. You know, outside of boxing, I'm a normal person, man. I go shopping myself, go to the grocery store myself, me and my girl, go to the park with my kids, I go to the bounce house with my kids, I do everything, myself. I don't have entourage on, me, my family, and the people that surround me, my friends and stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of people understand that, when I'm outside of boxing, I'm ready to do. I'm EJ, so my friends and my family. And I do regular things. So, what I'm saying? I'm gonna start being more, I'm gonna start speaking more and just saying a lot more. I know a lot of people wonder what I'm going through. And, they ain't gotta worry too much. I'm chilling, being with family and friends. Enjoying life.
Yeah, we ain't seen you in a year, but your fans, every day they still thinking about you, talking about you. I wanted to ask you this. We told Tank, we said, nigga, you talk too much. Yeah. Is that a Texas thing? Like, you just talk less? Or you think it's just,
we just laid back, chill, relax. If the nigga talking about, we tell him, man, you talking too much. I'm saying? I'm not a guy to talk a lot. You look at, most rappers, from Texas and South Walker, ain't too many rappers or athletes, they don't really say too much. They tell what they gotta say and then see. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what you think about Sauce Walker and Maxwell Cream slap boxing? You see that?
Yeah.
What you think about that?
I mean, that's what they doing shit. They slap boxing. It don't matter how old you is. You be 40, 50 years old. If they tell you to get out there, you gotta get out there and slap boxing.
Hey, what response to Ryan's testifies with PEDs on the A and B samples?
I ain't got no response to it. I mean, it's time gonna come in court, and hopefully, they do the right thing. We can't have people in there that are doing the type stuff because
I mean, you can hurt somebody, kill somebody, do whatever. Like, I mean, so it's not on me to what is the shit gonna be. No, it's up to the committee.
Let me answer this. What should happen? What should be the punishment for boxers that test positive for PEDs, in your opinion?
I mean, it should be something severe. I mean, it should be something severe because we don't need cheaters in this sport. I mean, we already, take a lot of brain damage. I mean, we sparring, and then you get into a fight, you got to deal with somebody that's cheating, they're doing stuff. So, I mean, they got to step up because they keep getting 4-month bans, 5-6-month bans. And then people gonna keep doing it because I fight every 9 months a year, so you gonna ban me for a year? Shit, I'm like, shit, I'm out for a year anyway.
All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Errol Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to erroldequis.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.